Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. And always, I just welcome my humongous studio audience. I just love the applause. Thank you so much. We're giving away cars. We always give away cars to them, just like Oprah. Okay. But thank you so much for being with us. It is already the second week. I'm just counting the days. January, already the 9th of January. But we don't let time catch us still. No moss growing up under our feet. I want to tell you, we got some big stuff coming up. Have you heard about the Black Panther movie? I had the most wonderful experience. Black Panther, there he is. One of the stuntmen is from where? The COL, the Columbus, Georgia area. Yes, his name is J.J. Myers, a little fella. I met him when he was a little kid, and his mother had such plans for her children. And Mbonya Myers, a teacher within the Columbus school system, I tell you, she's so proud. Her son, one of the stuntmen on the movie, he called me and he said, Miss D, you know what? I love this movie. It's about mentorship. It's about watching these people do great things. And you know what he said? I looked up at you as one of my mentors. I look to you as one of my mentors when I was a kid. So, I hope you go and see the movie. This is what this is all about today. I'm giving away, I'm going to be there, February 16th. February the 16th is when it premieres, and I want to take 2 people with me. I don't care what the tickets cost. It's coming out of our humongous D. Armstrong show budget. So say, hook me up, D. I want to go see Black Panther with you. I want to sit with you, eat some popcorn, celebrate JJ. This is one of the, look at the trailer. It is so well made. It's a fabulous movie. It's not a black movie. It's a movie about heroism. It's about defending what you believe in. It's a great movie. So I hope they don't push it aside and say it's just one of those ethnic movies or something. That's crazy. It's a good movie. Okay, tell you what else we got going for you today. The Uganda Children's Choir, I heard from them again, been trying to get them on the show. These kids come from across the big pond, and they come here with the Methodist Church, and they sing for their money. They give their testimonies of how people in the United States and around the world, because of what we do to give and to inspire them, they are able to go to school, they're able to travel, and they are going to be on D. Armstrong WLTZ Facebook Live February the 9th. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see them. They look they're so happy. They're so grateful that there's a way out of their poverty. So grateful that people around the country are willing to say, hey, you know what? You're not in this world alone. We're going to help you. What else do we have going on? Access to Independence, too. Don't forget Access to Independence. They were on last week, and this is an organization in Columbus that helps people who have disabilities so that you know, hey, I may have this, I may have that, I may have something else, but there is a life for me that's better than the one than sitting on the couch and saying I can't get anything done. Access to independence. For example, the blind or the lame or the hearing impaired, and they come into your life and they don't solve all your problems, but they're right there alongside you. Well, they have a comedy night that's coming up, and it's coming up on the 18th, January the 18th. And if you say, hook me up, D, I love comedy. I want to go to the Loft, a great venue downtown, the Loft. And I'm giving away 1 ticket. You got to buy your boo thing another ticket, okay? All right, because it is a fundraiser, but I'll give away the first ticket and say, I want to go to Access to Independence. I can't volunteer, but I can always give by buying a ticket, okay? So that is January the 18th, and go to their website, their Facebook page, Access to Independence. If you know someone who's depressed because they think this has happened to me, I can't make it, Access to Independence is there for them. And now today, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Have you heard that there's these videos going on online called Kill-Umbus, that we're not Columbus, that we've had so many young people killing young people that we need something like this, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We need to be able to mentor these kids who are making decisions to pick up guns, making decisions to do things that are going to land them in jail, becoming parents early, not going to school. And we have with us this afternoon Jerome Dingle from Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And I just have to hit you with that first. First of all, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And the second thing is, when you hear young people making videos and putting music behind it, and they're very compelling videos, talking about Columbus is Kill-Umbus. because they're afraid in their own neighborhoods. As someone from Big Brother, Big Sister, how does that hit you?
I would say to have to hit anyone with a heart and make you feel for these young people who want nothing more than to excel, move forward, and have a great life just like all of us. Mm-hmm. And I believe gaining a mentor, because this is January and it is mentorship month, and find a mentor. Mm-hmm. I believe having a mentor in your life when you're maybe lacking in a certain area is a great and wonderful thing.
Wow. Wow. This is your website. You can go to their website. It's the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of the Chattahoochee Valley. I was reading a couple of the mentor testimonials, I guess, and the kids seem so very sincere that these adults or older teenagers came into their lives and they saw what they couldn't see before. And I think that's what you're trying to do, is to give them another set of eyes, another set of ears. If all you've heard is this negativity, which you can't do. I hate it when they say our kids have 3 strikes against them. You're underprivileged, you're downtrodden. And those things may be true, but if that's the only thing you hear, then that's the life you're going to live. Yeah.
That is correct. That is correct. To give you a perfect example, when I started working, I've only been here since November, mm-hmm. and I love the atmosphere that's within the family center. Mm-hmm. I love working with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. My 3 co-workers are phenomenal ladies that I work with. I lean on them heavily for any kind of guidance or knowledge when it comes to the program. And one of my first recruits was my son.
How old is he?
He's 19 right now.
Wow.
So I went home my first day and handed him an application and said, hey, you need to fill this out and give something back to a young individual, a young man who may not be as fortunate to have his father or a male role model in his life. And his little was actually at our house yesterday. They hung out, played video games, had a great time.
And the little is the younger one?
It's the younger one. That's what we call the children, we call littles, and the volunteers we call bigs.
Wow. You know, and I think that sometimes we don't understand that children can live such an isolated life. How is it that the only thing they see is gang I had a child, and she was not an official big brother or big sister, and she was not someone that I fostered, but a friend had a child, and the child needed a home, so I took her in. And I was so surprised at the things that she did not know. Things like a napkin is something you use. It's not there just for, apparently when she grew up, you don't use that because we may not have any money to get any napkins later. So you said, no, you use the napkin and wipe your mouth off. She says, really? Really? It's like, yes. Thinking that going out to North Columbus Shopping Center, I almost dropped my teeth almost, because I took her and some friends, and then later they told me, thank you for having taken us to Atlanta. So I never took you to Atlanta. But that was such a long way from South Columbus to them. In their mind, they kind of thought they had gone this long way to this other way that the other people live, and I took them to Atlanta. So introducing them to something new is huge for a child. And
that's one of the things that the program does, is you're finding mentors from different walks of life, mm-hmm. and you're linking them up with a child with similar interests, whether it be cheerleading or mm-hmm. sports or a love of cooking or what have you. And then having that mentor guide them and show them. Again, there's another way. There's a whole generation of young men who don't know how to tie a tie. I know when my father taught me.
Never owned a dress shirt.
Exactly.
It's like, you don't have a dress shirt. They have T-shirts. They don't have a dress shirt.
That's true.
So you know they don't have a suit.
Right.
And that's a big thing, to put on a suit and go somewhere. Wow. What kind of stories did the ladies tell you about? You know what, Jerome? This is going to change you, because it changed so many young people.
It has. We've had more than a few. And with me being the new one there, I don't know everyone, and I don't know all the clients that we have. Mm-hmm. But I know we've had some gentlemen who have been with young men from the time they were 6 or 7 when they started in the program, all the way up until 17, 18, graduating from high school and on their way to college.
Wow.
And then they say, hey, well, I need another one. Let me start back off at the bottom again. And it's just great to see individuals taking an interest in the youth of our community, because as we all know, children are your future, and it's important to guide them in the right way. It's one thing to point fingers and say you're not doing you're not doing. And, as Mom used to say, when you point the finger, you got 3 pointing back at yourself. So if you're pointing the finger at that child and saying, well, you're not doing this, you could be doing, you have to look at yourself and say, well, what am I doing? Am I putting forth the effort to make a difference in the youth in this community? Or am I just simply saying, well, this is what's going on, this is what they're doing, we should do this, we should do that. How about you take an active role? Come see us, become a volunteer, and become a positive impact in a child's life.
I tell you, almost every Monday we come in now. Someone has shot someone over the weekend, and it breaks my heart because I look into the faces, and not always, but most of the time, those faces that we see, they look like, I'm sorry, I wish I hadn't done it. What have I done? I have messed up. They really were not ready for the consequences of the actions they took, but I guess caught up in something and didn't know how to get out of it. And that other voice from a big brother is the one that they can listen to when their friends are telling them, do it. Now, Jerome or some of the other, the big brothers, big sisters have said, no, this is what you can do instead.
And that's true, because it's often, and I'm sure, I know I experienced it as a young man, sometimes it's easier to take note of what someone else is telling you versus someone that's family or someone, we know you care about me, but it's for whatever reason, children have always been a little more responsive when it's someone outside that circle.
That's just one of those magical things. I have told my kids 1,000 times, I told you that 2 years ago, but let someone mentor you, and it's like you just heard it, but that's okay. I just want good things for you. I want good things for you. But I think that is, like you said, the nature of who we are. While we've got a lot of people watching today, tell them how they can qualify, Jerome, to give.
Okay, great. The first thing you want to do is contact us. Our number is 327-3760. Talk to one of the wonderful case managers that we have on staff or our program manager, and we'll get you an application. And what usually happens is you get the application, you fill out the application, and from there we do a background check because, as you know,
got to do that background check.
Exactly. Children and their safety is the utmost importance. You want to make sure that's taken care of. And then from there we do a one-on-one interview, ask some semi-personal to pretty in-depth questioning because we want to understand the individual that we're bringing in. And then there's like a small assessment to ask you what your likes are, what do you like to do, what are your strengths, weaknesses,
and so on.
To
help you kind of match up to a kid.
Exactly.
I saw one little boy that said, I didn't want a nerd, I wanted somebody that plays sports. And he says, I was shocked. He knew more about sports than me. This is like a 6-year-old.
Exactly.
So they teamed him up with someone who likes sports. So that was important to him. We've got people watching today. Tony Benzino says, I want to be a mentor to a young lady. I had a soldier that never had a birthday cake. She was used to barbecue or dinner, but never had a birthday cake. My jaw dropped. Until you kind of get into these children's lives, it's hard to understand.
Exactly. We take a lot of things for granted. The way we grew up, what we've been exposed to. And we have a program inside the Family Center called FAST, which is families and schools together. And that's one of their primary objectives, is to re-strengthen the family core and just add to and not take away when it's, again, whether children are at risk or their family as a whole is at risk. They team up with the schools, and we bring those families together because a lot of families don't sit down and eat like we used to. Dad comes home 5 o'clock, everyone's sitting at the table, we talk about our day and so on and so forth. But with the way society is and everyone needs to work, whether it's 1, 2, sometimes 3 jobs, a lot of families don't have that. So they're trying to introduce families to that, trying to get that core family back together.
It's so important because my mama got all our business at the dinner table. It's something about you just tell all your business to your mother at the dinner table. Oh, man, I got to turn into the news reporter in just a minute. Want you always, after these broadcasts, to join us on WLTZ First News at noon here on TV 38. Will you just promise to answer a lot of they're asking a lot of questions? Okay.
We have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Big Brothers, Big Sisters of the Chattahoochee Valley. They can click on the page, ask us questions. We can get them applications, get them to our offices, get them enrolled, and get them matched up, and have them start making a difference.
Thank you so much for joining us today. There's much more than what we got into today. So make sure you go to that page. And don't forget, I want you to go see the Black Panther with me, okay? Let's give JJ some support. He's from Columbus. He's a stuntman, JJ Myers. All right. And don't forget, Access to Independence. They have their comedy show at the Loft. A lot going on in this community. It's a great community. We'll see you tomorrow.